till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up? And it's me. It's Key, and we're back. We're in the building with another episode, 7200 podcast. I got my guy, Coach Donte. He's always in the building. Coach, what is going on, man?
What is going on? How we doing? Shout out to everybody that's going to come in the chat. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready to talk some ball.
We had a very interesting week 3. Going to go over that and all the topics that went down in week 3. We got some MLB going on. Playoffs is about to be starting soon. See who's in, see who needs to clinch. WNBA, the semifinals, game 2. College football, we're going to talk about the big games, and we might get into, if we can get into boxing. If not, we can say that for tomorrow morning with Coach and Con. Make sure y'all come on back tomorrow morning. The sports report with Coach and Con, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. What's going on, Vic? But first, before we get into something, I got something to get off my chest. I couldn't do it last week, but I'm going to do it today. Bart Scott. Y'all know who Bart Scott is. Bart Scott, he played in the NFL. Wasn't that great of a player, in my opinion. But anyway, he always got some slick stuff to say. But what he said about Trayvon Diggs was unacceptable. I understand Stephen A. always making fun of the team, but he never makes fun of injuries. And for him to say those comments where he said, it's just an accident waiting to happen, like, that's bad business. That's bad juju. Bart Scott has always had some blasphemous comments. He even went back to last year. I don't know if y'all remember the whole thing with Damar Hamlin and T. Higgins. He blamed T. Higgins for the Damar Hamlin's injury. Like, come on, Bart Scott. You're a professional. You an analyst. You got to do better. ESPN got to hold him accountable. Like, this is not who you want on your TV. This is not who you want to watch. So, I mean, in my opinion, Bart Scott need to do better. And I'm sure he's gotten clowned about it. I'm sure somebody said something to him. Even Stephen A. and RC was like, no, we don't do that. Like, come on. Be professionals. You're a human being. Are you not a human being? Do you not have the decency as a human being to be empathetic of an injury? Come on now, man. That was my rant about Bart Scott. I had to get off because he irked my nerves not seeing that. I was like, come on, man. As much as I hate the Dallas Cowboys, you don't want to risk injury on nobody. We don't risk injury on nobody. I felt for Dak when he got injured. Because you see the emotion and the passion of Dak. He wants to play this game, the game that he loves and gets paid for. I felt for him when he got hurt. So, Coach, I don't know if you got any comments to put towards Bart Scott, but that definitely wasn't cool on Bart Scott.
No, it wasn't cool. Like I say, I don't like the Cowboys either. It's a lot of teams I don't like, and it's a lot of people, I don't really respect. But I do, even though if I probably don't respect you as someone, a person, but I would wish nothing to happen to that person that I don't respect, or a team. I would never want a star player to get hurt. Like, it baffled me, when Nick Chubb went out. When Nick Chubb went out, that's one of the best running backs in our game. But other than that, I would never wish hurt or death on someone at all. No matter how much I don't like them or how much of the team I don't like. Hey, I would never wish death on a person. Like, to be honest, like I say, man, many people know this, and many people in my family don't know this. I didn't like Kobe Bryant, but I know what he did for our game, and I cried when the day he died because he was so important to the NBA basketball. He was so important. He was so good, man. He used to whoop my Rockets' ass every time we played. He was just so good, man. So at the end of the day, I respected him as a player, and I had respect for him as a player. As a person, did I like him? Nope. But as a player, I respected what he did because he did a lot of things. He helped out a lot of people. He won championships in this league. He just like the epitome of Michael Jordan. They both arrogant as hell when you get on the court. They both arrogant as hell, but they both do it because they want to win games. They want to win games. They did whatever it takes to win, and that's what you like. So no, I couldn't stand Kobe Bryant, but again, I respected him, and I broke down the moment he died because I know how much he meant to this game. And like I said, his game was great, awesome basketball game. I just hate the way he played against the Rockets every time. But other than that, I would never wish no hurt or death on anyone. Anyone out there. So even though the Cowboys are going through a stretch with Diggs, you would never want to see a player like that get hurt because he's one of the top 10 cornerbacks in our game. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And Bart Scott was wrong for that. Bart Scott was wrong. You don't chant an injury. Yes, you don't like the Cowboys. You can't stand the Cowboys. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp can't stand them. But they're not going to wish hurt on nobody or wish none success on anybody. So that's how I take it right there. So he was wrong for that. He definitely wrong for that. They're like people, worrying about some damn fantasy points when DeMar Hamlin died. You almost had a man die on the damn field. You worrying about a goddamn fantasy points and stuff like that. And that baffles me right there. So other than that, man, hope Trayvon Diggs, get better. He gonna get a speedy recovery and come back the same. But Bart Scott out of line for that.
He definitely was. But all right, that was my rant of the day. I had to get Bart Scott out of there because I was holding that back. As soon as he did it, I was like, Bart, I got some issues with you. But get on down to the nitty-gritty of things. We gonna start off with last night's Monday night game, and this is the last of the doubleheaders because I don't like the doubleheaders. I didn't like that split screen. That was just horrible. But we had the Philadelphia Eagles go up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it was like a home game because Eagles fans was deep in Tampa Bay. Matter
of fact, hold on, time out. One more thing before I go. One more thing before you go. I do got something. Now, I called the Rangers fans classless for what they were saying about the Houston Astros. But these goddamn Seattle Mariners fans, Jose Altuve got hit in the elbow with a damn baseball last night. And you see a 5-star idiot, a 5-star dumbass get up and chant and clap his goddamn hand. See, this is what the shit I'm talking about right here. This man, Altuve, already was out from the start of the damn season with a broken hand from an accidental hit. Now, I don't know the hell that pitcher name that hit Altuve right on the damn elbow, but that stuff was classless right there. And they started cheering. The crowd literally started cheering when this guy get hits with a baseball. I don't know if it's fucking 2017 these people crap on us about, but goddamn, how many times our players got to keep getting fucking hit because you don't like them? Because what they did in 2017, how many times you gonna hit our goddamn players and cheer fucking about it? That's fucking classless right there. These Mariners and Rangers fans, they fucking classless. And I don't respect half of these fans out here. Goddamn, just because 2017 happened, that shit is about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. But you cheering about Altuve getting hit with a baseball? Man, come on, get the hell up out of here with that crap. Wishing someone to get hurt. Just clapping when someone get hurt. That is classless, dude, and I can't condone that. And I don't respect that crap, man. That's the stupidity. The same stupidity with Bart Scott is. What's Bart Scott doing? That's stupidity. Wanted someone to get hurt on a goddamn base, on getting hit on the fucking arm with a baseball. That is stupidity right there. That is stupidity right there.
Well, since we want to continue to talk about stupid people, we had a Tampa Bay fan that was streaming the game wanted Jalen Hurts to get hurt on a tush push. Because your team is losing and you can't stop the tush push, you wanna wish this man injured? All right. I can't stand people. I don't like people. This is why I hate people. I can't. And just like Vic said, in that day is karma. Exactly.
The moment he got hit with the baseball.
I can't stand people.
I can't stand that shit. That shit pissed me off. Last night, the man in the front row, you immediately, when Altuve gets hit with the baseball, you immediately see a man in the front row jump up, clapping his hands. People crowd cheering when this man get hit. He already was out with a wrist injury because he accidentally got hit in the World Championship. Now he gets hit. This is the tail end of baseball. This is playoff baseball. And you take a shot at one of my guys, matter of fact, the best second baseman in baseball, in my opinion, when he's healthy, when he's on the field, You throw a ball and you hit him on the elbow and these fans get up cheering? Come on, man. That's classless, bro. That's classless, dude. That's why I don't respect a lot of these people out here for condoning that crap right there, man. That mess need to get up out of there, bro. Cheering when a man get hit on the damn arm with a baseball. It's crazy.
Again, this is why I hate people. Just because of that, like, human beings, you're human beings. You, God forbid, you don't want nobody to do that to you. Say that stuff about you. Could be your uncle, your cousin, your father. If he was a professional athlete, like, come on, would you want to wish hurt on that? Like, irks my nerves to the core. But last night's game, we had Tampa Bay coming in. They were 2-0, and Eagles were 2-0. Eagles get the job done. 3-0 in the rain, humid. Jalen Hurts had flu-like symptoms. Some of the guys had flu-like symptoms that didn't let them stop them. 25-11. Me and Coach called this game last night. Coach, what did you see about last night's game?
I saw dominant front defensive line for the Eagles last night. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis had a big time football game last night. I liked the way he played. He set the tone at the line of scrimmage. The running game was really good last night. Was great with DeAndre Swift continues to be, impressive. Yeah, Jalen Hurts threw an interception, which was discommunication between him and Dallas Goedert. And that last interception he threw, probably, you people can argue, that Donte Smith should have went up more for that. But that was a great catch, man. That was a great ass play right there. Can't nobody make that play, really make a play like that. So that was really more of the DB making that play. Donte Smith is not a little bit tall, not tall, but he's about more than 5'10", 5'11". But other than that, the DB just made a hell of a play on the ball. But I thought the running game and the defensive line controlled the football game for the Philadelphia Eagles. And you can never forget about that offensive line. Offensive line, Eagles got the best offensive line in football to me. Their receivers made plays. What was that? Zacchaeus was big all night, made some big catches. Including on the third down when Jalen Hurts was just sitting up in the pocket long, and by the time the pressure got to him, it was too late. He floats the ball in the middle of the field, and Zacchaeus was just right there. Zacchaeus made 2 big third down catches. I really like him as a receiver. He's really getting it done as that number 3 option right there. But offensive line, defensive line was definitely impressive last night for the Philadelphia Eagles.
It was done in the trenches. And one thing about Howie Roseman, he's going to get the guys in the trenches. Yeah, we lost Kaiser White. Yeah, we lost Miles Sanders and Javon Hargrave. But who did we replace them with? A Jalen Carter, DeAndre Swift. We got Nicholas Morrow, who played great in the linebacker slot, him and Zach Cunningham. It was a picture that they took of the Eagles offensive line and DeAndre Swift going through this hole. When I say it looked like Moses parted the Red Sea, that whole kind of Donte, me, you, and everybody in the whole truck can run right through that. That's how much this offensive line is to the Philadelphia Eagles. Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey is the smallest one on the offensive line. Everybody else is about 6'5" and up. Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, 6'8". Cam Jurgens he's a big dude. Literally, Kelsey is the littlest guy, and he plays center. And that offensive line, you put any running back behind this offensive line, and they'll get you some yards. But Jalen Hurts, he did have 2 interceptions. Don't know what he was looking at on that last one. But again, like you said, you could have said, Devontae could have jumped and got that, but it was a good play by the defender on the Tampa Bay side. Jalen Hurts 23-37, 277 a tub and 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. DeAndre Swift another 100-yard game, 16 carries, 130. Gainwell came in, had 14 carries. Jalen Hurts ran the ball 10 times and had 28, and he had a touchdown as well. A.J. Brown, 9 catches, 131 yards. He didn't get in the end zone. But Zacchaeus, he did get in the end zone. He had 2 catches, 58 yards. Hurts spread the ball around. In my opinion, I think he did pretty good. At times, he has to trust what the protection gives him. to allow him to stand in the pocket. He doesn't have to run out so much. The one that he scrambled out, if he would have waited some more, he had Goddard wide open. But what he did on the next play, he trusted his protection, and that's when he found Zacchaeus. He took the hit. After he threw it, he found Zacchaeus and got that touchdown. The defense was great. We are number 2 when it comes to takeaways. This is something this defense didn't do last year. Yeah, we sacked a lot of guys. We was a sack machine last year, but we didn't have the takeaways as we did this year. And being number 2 in takeaways, how the defense is getting to the ball, causing turnovers. We had 4 or 5 turnovers in Minnesota. We had 2 last night. Desai got this. I was questioning Desai a little bit, but he got this defense right, in my opinion. I don't have no issues with showing Desai. Except I don't like how we're playing 10 off again off the some receivers. Give credit to Darius Slay. He usually has trouble with the more physical backs like Mike Evans, but he didn't do too bad on Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield, he's not bad. Everybody, crap on Baker. Baker is, still, this is his 4th team. I think he fits well with Tampa Bay. It's just they didn't, they had to face a dominant defense in the offensive line. And I mean, Tampa Bay defense was on the field all night long. Of course, their defense got tired. They couldn't stop the Eagles on 3rd down. They was always on the field, the turnovers. So they was in for it. I know Todd Bowles was probably saying, dang it, I couldn't beat Jalen this time. But not bad. 3-0. Only 3 teams remaining 3-0. The Eagles is one of them. Miami and San Fran, who we're all going to face. The Eagles are going to face this upcoming season. The next game was 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, I really didn't watch this game. I watched it, but I didn't watch it because it got boring. And then after a while, Cincinnati just went ahead. But Joe Burrow gets in the game. He's not the healthy Joe Burrow. He's limited with that calf, but he did get the job done. And they win this game to go down 0-2. Do you think it was important for Joe Burrow to get out there even though he wasn't 100%?
I mean, he wanted to get out there for his guys, man. He wanted to get out there for his guys. I like what he did. It was a risk. But it just shows you basically how desperate that win they needed. It just showed you how desperate they needed that win. So don't mind them getting out there, toughing it out. I definitely wouldn't have made no excuses for them if they would have lost, because at the end of the day, you still went out there and played football. At the end of the day, you still went out there and played football. So you're showing me that you're good enough. If you're good enough to go, you got to go out there and still be effective. So at the end of the day, he went out there for his guys. He noticed, hey, we got to win this game. We can't go 0-3. We can't go down 0-3. We got to go out there and win this game. So they played desperate football last night, and that's exactly what he went out there and did, and played desperate football. They played well. That defense was really good. Joe Mixon had a big play. To run the football in the end zone. Got to give credit to that Cincinnati defense. They did a pretty good job, and they played with desperation. They went out there and played with desperation, just like I thought they would do. They know the situation. Hey, they're the defending, AFC North champs. Hey, if they may lose this game, they may not recover from that. But other than that, they won it, so it's on to this weekend.
Joe Burrow, he threw for 49 times. 26 of 49, 259, and interception. Joe Mixon only 65 yards. Jamar Chase, 12 catches, 141 yards. I feel like, in my opinion, knowing Joe Burrow has that calf injury, and he can't. You need the legs to get the throw, especially the deep ones. And knowing he had a calf injury, when you had ran the ball more to take pressure off him throwing that much, would you have gave Mixon some more touches?
Yeah, I would have gave him a lot more touches, but the main thing about it, he got enough. He got enough to win the game last night. That interception that got caught, that was a great play. I mean, he took it right up. He took it right out. I think that was Jamar Chase's hands. He took it right away from him. So that was a good play, man. It was just a good play last night. I know it was a kind of 19-16 game, but they did enough to win. They did enough to win game last night. So Joe Mixon got 19 carries, so he almost had 20. So he had more than enough. He had a touchdown. Jamar Chase got the ball a lot in this game, 12 for 141. He was solid. He was great. He was great last night.
But Cincinnati's defense was all up in Matt Stafford's grill last night. Logan Wilson gets 2 picks off of Stafford. They sacked Stafford 6 times. Dak Hill gets a sack. Sam Hubbard gets a sack. Who else had a sack? Trey Henderson was all over the place. He had 2 last night. 6 sacks for that defense. But on the offensive side for the Rams, started off slow, but they tried to pick it up at the end. That controversial touchdown between Atwell, they didn't call it a touchdown. Looked like a touchdown to me, but they didn't call it. 18 of 33 for Matt Stafford, 269, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Didn't really run the ball very well with Williams, 38 yards, 10 carries. Puka with 5 yards, 5 catches, 72 yards. And Tyler Higbee had 71 yards as well. And Atwell, he did get a touchdown. But move on to the next. I'm happy that no more double games on Monday night because that was just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But recapping some of last week's game, not going to go too big in all of them. We all know. But your Texans, man, beat the brakes off the Jags 37-17. Talk about your squad beating the Jags, man. How happy are you with this team, Donte?
I'm excited. I'm focused on Pittsburgh now, so I had a moment to, enjoy the week. But I'll say what I said. I mean, how good is Jacksonville actually? Not that really great. Not that good enough to we can't beat them. I mean, Jacksonville, the only difference, like I said last year, they won outside of the division. We didn't win outside of the division. We won in the division. We was 3-2-1 in the division with a tie last year. They was 4-3 in the division. They had more losses than we did in the division. So other than that, Trevor Lawrence, again, I'm gonna say it again. He's not that guy. He's a good quarterback, not a very good, not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Travis Etienne is basically the safety blanket of Trevor Lawrence. When they run the football well, that takes a lot of pressure off of him. You saw what he did. He turned the ball. He threw the ball away to Blake Cashman at the tail end of the ball game. Not the tail end of the ball game, but it was a turning point of the ball game. The actual turning point when my guy Andrew Beck took it to the house for 96 yards, a fullback. He took it all the way to the house. That was a turning point of the game. Kind of broke the game open. Then the next possession, Trevor Lawrence throws an interception, and that was the heartbreaker right there. But I'm very impressed with this team. We got Jimmy Ward back. That's going to be a plus. We're going to get Jalen Petrie back this weekend. And our offensive line, I'm impressed with our offensive line. Our offensive line didn't give up a sack this week. We only gave up 4 quarterback hits. So, again, we're trending in the right direction. But like I say, Jacksonville ain't that good. And I like when people say Jacksonville is way better than Houston. They way better than everybody in this division. They way better. So they may win the division at the end of the day. They may win the division. But again, how far they are better than Houston after that whooping that we put on them and that 37 piece we put on, how good they are to Houston. And this second straight year, we beat them in Jacksonville. Remember, we won 10 out of the last 11 meetings against Jacksonville. So how really good is Jacksonville compared to Houston? Not that great because we own them on the field. We own them when we actually play on the field. Yes, the roster is better. The roster is talented than we do, but you got to be on the field. You got to show it on the field, and that's exactly what Jacksonville don't do. So other than that, shout out to my guy E. Shout out to E and Burn. Much respect, much love to them. I respect the hell out of them brothers right there. But all them people that's hyping up the Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all stop it. Come on, man. They're the only reason they're probably front runners to make the playoffs because our division is really not good. You see, we're 1-2, Titans are 1-2. The Colts in first place in the division are 2-1 because they got a big win versus the Baltimore Ravens. And guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-2 as well, and we own the tiebreaker as of right now over them. So how good is Jacksonville really really good. Really good. So like I say, we coming slowly for surely. Probably not this year, but next year we should be better.
We all know that the hurting that Miami put on Denver, put up a 70-piece, 70-20 was the final score. That was a crazy game. Bills come back into form, 37-3 over the Commanders. The Lions defeat the the Atlanta Falcons 20-6. Seahawks 37-27. No Bryce Young. What's going on, Ern? Oh my God. He said the Raiders going to the Super Bowl. He said Josh McDaniels going to be coach of the year and Jimmy G's MVP. I can't. Fortunately, the Cowgirls, they lose to the Cardinals. Cowboys got humbled, but we're going to get into that later on. The Chiefs beat the Bears 41-10, and the Steelers get the win in Alliance Stadium 23-18. Some injuries and some headlines going on right now. J. Cole. This whole Colin Kaepernick situation that just came up. Kaepernick reached out to the Jets or sent in a letter. He just wants to be on the practice squad. He don't want to, be a starter or anything. I feel like at this point, Cap is just like you begging teams now. You've been out the league, 7 years? Have you been throwing? Have you really been doing anything? I mean, it might be a distraction between the Jets knowing a bunch of stuff that's going on. So, I mean, should Cap just give it up?
I mean, I don't think he's gonna get back in the league again. So yeah, he should just give it up. I don't see him back in the league. If he was to get back in the league, he would have been got back in the league. They would have been let him. This clearly he's been blackballed from the league. So yeah, he should be able to give it up.
So I mean, but Trevor Siemian, help is on the way, y'all. Help is on the way in New York. Trevor Siemian to the practice squad. Help is on the way. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's going to help much, but I don't know if that's going to help much. Trevor Siemian is on the way. So, but yeah, Derek Carr. It looks like Derek Carr may not play upcoming Sunday. He did hurt his shoulder, AC sprain. So might see Jameis Winston in there. Hold on. Oh wait, is the oh yeah, no, it won't help, Jeff. I'm all with Cap, but I think the time has passed. It has, unfortunately.
Yeah, it has. I don't think he's gonna get another shot.
So Saquon Barkley is day to day with ankle injury. The Atlanta's linebacker Troy Anderson, he's on the IR with a pectoral injury. So the coach, you got your list.
Yes, I got everything together. You're gonna be surprised by number one. So
boy, you already know what it's time for. It's time for the coaches list. Who is number one on the coaches list?
So here we go. Number 5. Shout out to everybody, and it's gonna be like I say, it's gonna be a lot of certain players that's gonna be on here. Every single time, especially in basketball. Sometimes, y'all know my man pick our boy putting certain players on there because they too damn good. They can make it every week, every week. Like Jokic, he can make it every week. Breanna Stewart, Asia Wilson, they can make it every week. They can make it every week. But I will avoid putting some of these people on now, taking a look at some more people. But other than that, no, you will not see. I will let you know right now, you will not see Asia Wilson. You will not see Breanna Stewart up on this list. But you know what? You will see Asia Wilson teammate. You will see Kelsey Plum on this list, and versus my Dallas Wings at number 5. Kelsey Plum, 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. The Aces, to me, the best team in the WNBA to prove it otherwise. She's a big part, big help, and that's Darren Waller's, wife right there. Shout out to y'all. But Kelsey Plum probably right now since the list started over. This is our first time being on the coaches list. Congratulations, Kelsey Plum. Number 4, we go to college football. We go to a receiver out of USC. We go to Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, who had a big game versus Arizona State. 7 catches, 133 yards, 2 tubs. This is not for sure. I know his first time being on this list. So congratulations for Brendan Rice. It's been an honor to have you on this list. Alyssa Thomas, AT. The game against Minnesota, the closeout game actually, 28 points, 12 rebounds, 28 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds for AT, Alyssa Thomas. Shout out to Alyssa Thomas. This is not our first time been on the list, but as Alyssa starting over, this is our first time been on the list. So AT, good job, AT, for being on this list. Number 2, I got my guy. I love this guy to death, man. And I'm so glad. Like I said, I'm so glad we stick our foot up them damn Jaguars' ass. And you know who was a part of that? Tank Nathaniel Dale. He's too small. He was supposed to be too small. Coming up out of the NFL, he's 5'9", but he's small. 145 yards and a touchdown for Tank Nathaniel Dale. And again, remember, y'all, Jaguars, they're not a scary team to even play. Y'all don't got to be scared. It's nothing scary from the Jaguars. It's nothing scary. You damn sure don't got to be scared of Trevor Lawrence. Like I say, he's a good quarterback, but not very good, not great. And number 1, y'all ready for this surprise? This is the first ever. You ready for this surprise, Key? You ready for it? Y'all ready for the surprise?
I'm afraid.
You afraid? The Miami Dolphins, not players.
He put the whole team on the list.
The Miami Dolphins team, 70 points against the Denver Broncos. That's the first time ever a team has made it on the coaches list. I just couldn't put a player. I could put a player. I could have put Tyreek Hill up on there. I could have put Tua. I could have put Devin A-Chain up on the list easily. But they had so many plays yesterday. That game was embarrassing.
I like it though.
It's number 1. So, but this is the first ever team on the coaches list. Miami, 70 points is unreal in the NFL. Now, I know probably the highest probably was 63, I believe. And I think it was that Jaguars and Miami Dolphins that I think that was if someone can look it up, I think it was between a play. I think it was a playoff game. I think the Jaguars won 63-10 or something against the Miami Dolphins in the playoff game. I think that was the tail end of Dan Marino's career. But I think that was the highest score in the NFL. I'm not sure. But 70 points. It was 73. Matter of fact, it was 73 because they didn't go for the record.
Yeah, no, they could have kicked that field goal.
They could have kicked the field goal. You know what? I would have done it. I would have actually done it because you've been letting me run up on the field all day upon you. Everything's been easy. Why not do it? Why not just kick it and go and do it and just embarrass them like that? But yeah, that is the coaches done. That's the coaches list of this week. Now I know it was a good surprise. I was expecting a player.
Sure enough was. You got me there, Coach. Okay.
I was expecting a player, but when I look at 70-0, that was an embarrassment. That looked like a little league flag football team out there. I don't know what the hell that looked like 4 and 5-year-olds playing against 12-year-olds or something like that.
It was Bishop Sycamore.
That's crazy. That was crazy. But yeah, congratulations to the Miami Dolphins become the first team ever to hit the coaches list. I just had to do that. I could have put a player, but I just had to do that.
It was Bishop Sycamore. They were playing because that wasn't no Denver Broncos, and you can't blame. We're gonna get into the topics, soon here in the NFL, but you can't blame Russ for that. But since we're on the topic of Denver, as a team, Sean Payton talked all this mess about Nathaniel Hackett and how horrible he was. But Nathaniel Hackett ain't in a much better situation because he can't get his team together offensively together either. How does the Broncos bounce back from a loss like this? What do you say? What can you say in the locker room? Like, you can't even. What do you do? How do you bounce back from this game? They got the Bears coming up next week. This week that should be a W. But how do you bounce back from a loss like this?
How do you bounce back from a loss like this? Going in the film room, practicing, and maybe you need to practice, like I say, practicing each and every day and addressing the team and letting them know that was unacceptable. That was unacceptable. Nobody looked like nobody wanted to be out there. Nobody wanted to play out there. They forgot they had a 12 o'clock game. They forgot they had a 12 o'clock game that day. And just go back to the drawing board. And bad as Nathaniel Hackett was, he never gave up 70 points. Yeah, you can say it's on the defense, but, it's going to go on the head coach's head. It's going to go on the head coach's head anyway. So at the end of the day, the offense, I thought they did pretty well. The problem was when you have a fumble on the Dolphins' territory, when you have an interception on the Dolphins' territory, Basically had 2 fumbles on the Dolphins territory. Hey, that's a recipe for disaster. So at the end of the day, Russell Wilson has not really played all that bad. He's not really played all that bad football. He's played some pretty solid football. But this defense giving up 70 points, my goodness, 70 points. This defense was one of the top defensive teams last year with a worse head coach in Nathaniel Hackett. Now you get a better head coach. Matter of fact, what you spent draft capital on just to get him, and you probably even worse than last year. Even worse than last year. So you know, that's going to be on the head coach's head. That's going to be on Sean Payton's head. But like I said again, you just got to go back to the drawing board. And I pretty much know Chicago going to think about this too. Going to think about this as well. You have to get a win. I don't care if it's in Chicago. You cannot go out like that. You have to get a win. So I think these 2 teams are going to play desperation football. Chicago just got a whooping 41-0 a few minutes ago. Both of these teams is on the same level. They're bad football teams. They're really bad. The Cardinals look better than those teams. Cardinals actually play good football. They actually have been playing some good football. Even though in the 2 losses, they play good football. And beating Dallas this week, they played some good football. You would think Arizona would be worse, but no, those 2 teams right there may be the 2 worst teams in the NFL as of right now, as of what we are seeing. Denver is just bad, man. They're just an awful football team, and so is Chicago. I might not pick that game. I don't care.
It's funny because all 4 of the 0-4 teams play each other this week.
Man.
So Minnesota plays who is it? The Carolina? Yeah. So all the 0-4 teams play each other. All the 0-3 teams play each other this week. But
Carolina 0-3?
I don't think they won yet.
No, they didn't. Okay. They lost against the Falcons. They lost the Monday night game.
Yeah, Denver's 0-3, Chicago's 0-3, Carolina 0-3, and then Minnesota. Okay. And all the 0-3 teams play each other this week. That's going to be fun to pick. The Jets. The Jets. Lord have mercy. Zach Wilson. I feel bad for Robert Saleh because he even know that Zach Wilson ain't the answer for this team, but he has to say that he is. You already seen on the sideline Michael Carter getting ramped up with some of the running back coaches. Garrett Wilson, you know, he's saying Zach's the guy. You had legend Joe Namath come out and even said Zach isn't the guy. Something got to be done. All the analysts are saying make a trade for Kirk Cousins, which would sound great, but then what would you do with Kirk Cousins when Aaron Rodgers is coming back? I don't think Kirk would do that because, you know, it's a one-year deal, and Kirk Cousins is no backup in this league. Eli Manning did say something interesting, and it made sense on First Take today. He said that Zach Wilson and the coaching staff need to figure out plays that makes him comfortable, plays that he connects on, to get him started. And that makes perfect sense. Get the plays that's comfortable with Zach Wilson, but he's not so flustered in the pocket. What happens is he sees the offensive line break down and he panics. That causes turnovers. That causes sacks, 3 and outs. He can't get the ball downfield. I feel like him and Nathaniel Hackett need to sit down. They need to really go over what works for me, what doesn't work for me. Is it the little screen plays he has to do? Is it some, do we have to run more to set up the passing game? They got to talk about something because I feel like if the Jets go any worse than they can, Robert Saleh jobbing on it. What does the Jets have to do to fix this Zach Wilson problem? Yes, they did come in and sign Trevor Siemian to the practice squad, but Trevor Siemian is not going to save them either. Is he a little better than Zach Wilson? You can say yes, a little upgrade from Wilson. But what do the Jets got to do to fix this? Their defense isn't bad. It's just offense. It's not even offensively. It's just the quarterback and the offensive line. What do they got to do, Donte, to not be a laughing stock in this NFL?
Well, it's nothing you can do because that's just how bad Zach Wilson is. That's just how bad he is. He's just a bad quarterback. That's all it is. You threw everything in the book to try to make him better. He's still a bad quarterback. It's just no way around it. The Jets defense is going to keep him in it each and every night. Zach Wilson has to be better. But that starts off the field and holding himself accountable for what's going on. And he's the reason why this team is losing. Now, I'm starting to think, the running back situation, teams are stacking the box and stopping them from running the ball because Zach Wilson ain't gonna beat you throwing the damn ball. So why would I let the Jets run the ball? They're stacking the box no matter who's in the game, whether if it's Breece Hall or Dalvin Cook. They're gonna stack the box, and you say, "Hey, Zach Wilson, you beat me. I'll let you. I will not let the running game get going." So that's what teams are doing. They're stacking the box. That's why you're saying what people are trying to say. What's wrong with Dalvin Cook? Why this running game ain't doing it? Give them more carries, but the team is stacking the box on them. They can't run because Zach Wilson can't push the ball down the field, and nobody's as scared of Zach Wilson are. Nobody's scared of him making plays, moving out of the pocket, making plays, making accurate throws. Nobody's scared of that. So they're going to game plan for the run each and every week. Just like you're going to see probably this coming week, you're going to see a bunch of different linemen in the box, linebackers in the box. We're going to load up. We're going to stop the run, and we're going to make Zach Wilson. Beat us. That's the problem. That's the thing that you're going to get from the Jets because Zach Wilson, he sucks bad. He sucks. He's not a good quarterback, and the Jets tried all they could do to try to fix him, but it's him. He has to hold himself accountable off the field as well in the press conference. You want to say the game's up? Well, last year you want to say the game ain't on him. You want to say the game ain't on him? Why they lost to New England? Yes, it clearly was on him. In this game, every game that they lost is clearly on Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson can't go out there and get the damn job done. Can't go out there and get the job done and make throws to these receivers, regardless if they wide open or fit the ball in any type of tight window. That's why the running game ain't gonna work because Zach Wilson can't work.
What's going on, Mo? Mo's in the chat. So he said, versus the Jets, I'm dropping my safeties all day long. He said, I might play a 46 versus the Jets. So Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show. Him and Pat is bullies. He says that the Jets offense needs to grow up and not point fingers. Really, Aaron? Not point fingers? Are you kidding me? Not point fingers. They put all their eggs in the basket just to get you. You get hurt after 4 plays. What do you mean not point fingers? Zach Wilson is terrible. I can play quarterback better than Zach Wilson. Donte, you can play quarterback better than Zach Wilson. My 16-year-old can play quarterback better than Zach Wilson. What are you talking about, don't point fingers? Really, Aaron? He said, I think we need to hold our poise a little bit better across the board. Just offensively, we need to not have some of these things happen on the sideline and to be a little better and to be just a little better competitors. Your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers saying not pointing fingers and we need to be better?
I don't know if he's just talking about one individual or the whole team, but if he's talking about the whole team, I'm not going to be mad at him for it, but the only finger you can point is Zach Wilson. That's the only finger you can actually point at. So I kind of see what he's saying about, they need to stop pointing fingers at each other. This ain't the time to point fingers at each other. We're trying to win a ball game. But if the game is constantly in Zach Wilson's hands and everything like that, hey, who you got to point the finger at? Someone got to take the blame, and Zach Wilson got to take this blame. So at the end of the day, I already know when I look at that interview, he say he needs to stop pointing fingers. He ain't gonna come out and point no finger at Zach Wilson. He ain't gonna come out and point no finger at the team immediately. He gonna keep it behind closed doors. He ain't gonna say an individual name. He ain't gonna say individual names who's pointing those fingers, who needs to stop pointing those fingers at. I think he knows himself Zach Wilson is bad. Zach Wilson is bad. He's just trying to be more of an uplifter and stuff like that and not come out and just say the wrong thing and not blast the team. not blast the team, but he did give out one hit. He know people will point fingers at each other. It could be the coaching staff. It's definitely Zach Wilson. It could be the coaching staff, the receiving core. He haven't gave an individual a name, but he just know the team is pointing fingers at each other.
Khan said you better off putting Joe Namath back there as a starter. He might get some games done. All right, so we got the Cowboys going into Arizona. Nobody thought was going to beat Dallas. They went in there, and they did it convincingly. He was talking about Breece Hall and Sauce. Cardinals went there convincingly and beat Dallas. They took Micah Parsons out of this game. Defensive wise, offense, they was spectacular. They could not stop James Conner to save their life. Ran up and down the field, James Conner did. So, does this loss prove the Cowboys can't be trusted?
They haven't been trusted for 28 years. Haven't been trusted for 28 years. You knew something. Everybody knew something like this was going to happen. It was going to be a slippage at some point. They haven't been trusted in 28 years. So, other than that, these losses like right here happen. They bound for a loss like this. Like I said again, give credit to the Cardinals. This team is not coming out laying down to anybody. They coming out playing hard. James Conner running the ball pretty well. Joshua Dobbs is doing a hell of a job, man, over there. He's doing a hell of a job over there at quarterback. So other than that, man, you gotta give them guys credit. You really gotta give them guys credit. They are playing hard. They're not quitting. They're not giving up. This is supposed to be a team who's tanking, and they're out there playing hard. All of their games were close, including the Giants game that they actually should have won, that the Giants came back on. All of these games that they played were close, and those against the NFC East, division. So they played that division tough. So we'll see what happens down the road, but they're playing hard. James Conner was very good. Kaiser White catching the interception, pretty much the dagger interception. Dak Prescott was having a solid game until that interception happened at that point of time right there. The running game was working. Joshua Dobbs also made some big throws down the field. And you just got to give credit to the Cardinals, man. They're not coming in here. They're not going to nobody's house. They're not laying down. They're going out there to play football. And you just got to give credit to the coaching staff and the players.
We already know, we talked about the blowout between Miami. But does this blowout say more about the Broncos or Miami?
It says more about how dangerous Miami is, but Broncos were terrible. They were bad. They wasn't tackling well. They weren't trying their all. They weren't giving no effort. Once they were down, they quit. They basically stopped playing football. And it turned out to attract me. But this also shows you, how dangerous that the Miami Dolphins is. If Tua is on the field, and even if Tua gets hurt, I believe you got a capable quarterback in Mike White. And Mike White, who can handle an NFL offense, who's proved with the New York Jets, he can handle an NFL offense as well. But if Tua is upright, hey, telling you, this also shows you they can be dangerous. They can put up points on the board against anybody they even play. So other than that, give credit to Miami. But the Broncos is just that bad of a football team, and I really actually believe that now, that they're that bad of a football team. But that also showed you, how dangerous Miami is.
And they didn't even have Jalen Waddle. That's the crazy part. Waddle wasn't even in the game. They let Devon Achane run up and down the field, 200 yards, 4 tubs, and then Mostert with 4 tubs. You had Tua throw 3. Mike White threw to Chosen Anderson. Like, the backups even got some burn. And that's something you see on Madden, on rookie mode. Like, you don't see this in real life. 70 points. And then Josh McDaniels was like, no, we're not gonna get that 73. Are the Ravens in trouble? The Ravens, they had 7 starters, 7 injuries. They lost to the Colts in overtime. Uncle Rico did his thing with the Colts. Colts is actually, hanging in there in that division so far. But is this troubling for the Ravens right now?
No, they're 2-1. I'm not panicking. It happens. Every game like that happens. You're gonna have a game like that. The Colts is not no slouch of a team. They're not no slouch of a team. They're a solid team. They got a very respectable defensive side of the ball. So I think Baltimore is going to be fine. I think the Colts were just better on that day. But I think in overtime or in regulation, the referee did miss a pass interference call that was missed. That probably kind of helped out a little bit, helped that game extend a little bit. But other than that, I don't think the Ravens need to panic. I think they fine.
Looks like Lamar was doing all of the work because no OBJ. I think he didn't have Bateman either. And I think Andrews was out. Missing some key pieces on the defensive side. Kyle Hamilton was a monster that game on defense.
Yeah.
He had 3 sacks.
Yep.
So he was all in Gardner Minshew's face, but they just couldn't get it done, couldn't bring it on. Justin Tucker missed the 61-yarder that would have won it, and they went in overtime. But the Ravens did sign Kyle Van Noy to that offensive side. So maybe it'll help them out a little bit. Moving on to the AFC West and the Chargers. The Chargers finally get the win in Minnesota. Barely. Did this game save their season?
Yeah, when you're 0-2 and you go 2-1, yeah, it saves your season. Because I don't believe they probably now if they lost this game, I don't believe they make the playoffs. I believe it'll be an uphill to come. But yes, they played out of desperation. Justin Herbert had a great game, had a solid game in that game. Got to give him credit. Now Mike Williams is hurt. He's out with a season-ending injury, and them receivers never always healthy. They never are. I just kind of feel bad for that offense instead because that receiving core is always banged up and always getting hurt, man. So other than that, but yeah, I think this win definitely saved their season. I think if you don't want to go down 0-3, you don't want to go out down 0-3. That's exactly what they didn't want to go. They go down. They made the plays they need to make, and again, it came down on Kirk Cousins' interception at the goal line. To help them win the game. So, yeah, it saved the season. Definitely did.
So, Mike Williams is out with ACL injury. So, that means rookie Quentin Johnston will be in that spot now. So, it's going to be Johnston. You still got Palmer. You still got Keenan Allen, who's been playing well. Eckler was out, but I think Eckler might be back this week. J.C. Jackson is a healthy scratch. Come to find out, he got a warrant out for his arrest.
I told Slay, I told you that something about them that J.C. Jackson didn't feel right with me. Keep trying to tell y'all. Don't want to listen.
But Brandon Staley, I gotta call you out too. People's getting on my nerves today. I see. Brandon Staley. Why? I know you an analytics guy. Why would you go now? Minnesota didn't have no timeouts. None. No timeouts. Why would you go for it on 4th and 1 on your own 24 and you can't get the yard and you turn around downs and you set Minnesota up perfectly for them to win this game? Why didn't you just put the ball away? They got no timeouts. So that means they got to rush down the field to make a touchdown. You pretty much gave them the game. If Kirk Cousins didn't throw a pick, that game was over and Minnesota would have won. If they went 0-3, you might as well would have fired him right then and there. If the Chargers do not make the playoffs this year, Brandon Staley is cooked. And what should have happened was Sean Payton should have waited a year because Staley was going to be out. He should have waited. He should take the Chargers job. I feel like offensively, since he's an offensive-minded coach, he would have did great in the Chargers. With Justin Herbert and that offense and Austin Eckler, just imagine a Sean Payton and that offensive scheme with the Chargers. But now he's stuck in Denver. But Brandon Staley, if y'all don't make the playoffs, you might as well not even get on the plane. Regardless of where the game is. If it's away, if it's home, you don't go back to the locker room. Just leave the stadium. Just go. Because there's no way. There's no that he was like, oh, I stand by my decision. This is what gets you in. Your decision is what makes you lose games. Because literally, that was a chip shot. That was a chip shot, 24-yard line, and you give it right back to Minnesota in that space. If Kirk Cousins didn't throw that pick, you believe Minnesota would have won that game, and y'all would have been 0-3.
Yep.
Your thoughts on Staley calling that play?
Like I said, just an idiotic play, just idiotic. It's just typical Brandon Staley. That's all it is. Just typical Brandon Staley. That's all it is. And I say he should have been fired on the field the moment he lost that big lead to Jacksonville. He should have been fired right there on the field. But his day is coming. His day is coming. His day is coming. And again, some of those close games that Minnesota was winning last year, they're not winning this year. They're out of luck this year.
Facts. Jimmy G and the Raiders. Y'all know some issues going on there. Chandler Jones, apparently Las Vegas police. He's in a hospital. They made him go on his bail, so he's in a mental hospital right now. So Chandler Jones is going through a lot of stuff over there at the Raiders. We don't really know what's going on, but hopefully Chandler Jones is all right. Josh McDaniels and Jimmy G. Devontae Adams is starting to come out and say, it's not what he signed up for. He's all about winning. But Devontae Adams is going to go out there and play regardless. We all know Devontae Adams was the leading receiver in this Pittsburgh game. They just lost. But does Josh McDaniels not trust Jimmy G?
Nope. You should not. After what he did the other night. Threw 3 interceptions the other night. I don't know what he was looking at. And 2 of them to y'all, boy, Kayvon Wallace. Hey, y'all, you remember that guy? You remember that guy, Key?
I'm sorry, he still stunk.
But guess what? He's better over there in Pittsburgh now. So something about Philadelphia. Something about when someone leave Philadelphia. Something about that point right there. Hey, right, but yeah. Other than that, Jimmy Garoppolo, like I say, he's a game manager at best. I mean, Hunter Renfrow not getting the touches because I don't think he's getting open like he once was. Like I say, again, Devontae Adams, he's a great receiver. He's going to get his. He's going to do whatever it takes to get his. He's going to get his catches. You're not going to stop Devontae Adams from getting his catches or probably scoring probably a touchdown. The only way you probably can do that is you game plan to take him out. And plus, they can't get the running game going because, again, teams are stacking the box against Josh Jacobs. He was the lead rusher last year. Guess what? I'm going to stack the box. Jimmy Garoppolo go out there and beat me and make throws, and Jimmy Garoppolo not doing that. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that Devontae Adams for saying what he's saying. I'm not mad at that. I'm mad at that. He want to win. The man want to win. He came down to play with Derek Carr. He didn't come down. He didn't come down. For Josh McDaniels. He came down to play with Derek Carr. But I like the way he's been professional about it. But I like the way he's been professional about it, going out there playing, putting up his numbers. But I'm not mad at him for saying what he's saying because he may be right. He's in the locker room. He knows it. So, and that's from your star wide receiver who's been productive.
That's facts. It's not Jimmy G. A lot of Raiders fans don't now.
It's on Josh McDaniel too. We're not excusing that, but Jimmy G is also ain't the answer for the Raiders either. We all should know that. Josh McDaniels is the problem. We all agree on that. So no one is disagreeing on Josh McDaniels is not the problem. He all handled to Derek. Probably he didn't want Derek Carr from the start. That he became the coach. That's the reason why he got up out of there. And the players don't. I heard hearing a lot of issues. The players don't like playing for Josh McDaniels. He is not a head coach. You seen what he did at Denver. He folded in Denver. You seen what he did. So outside of the Patriots, he has not been successful as a head coach in this league. So he did his best being an offensive coordinator behind one of the best coach of all, probably the best coach of all time, and Tom Brady. We're not excusing him as not being a problem. He is a problem. He's the main reason the team is not being good. But Jimmy, we all know Garoppolo's still not the answer anyway. We all know he's not the answer.
I feel like McDaniels is trying to get out of Belichick's shadows and try to be like Bill. Like some coaches aren't built as coaches. Maybe you better as a coordinator. And even as he was offensive coordinator, he wasn't doing that bad. But now that he's out of Bill Belichick's shadows, and then he went back, and now he's out of it again. I don't know. I don't know how long that McDaniels is going to be over there. But I can see him being on the hot seat too. I see Robert Saleh being on the hot seat. I see Belichick being on the hot seat. And Staley right now is on the hot seat. I don't know who else I can throw in there for hot seats, but they're the main four I can think of right now. Maybe Matt Eberflus over there in Chicago right now. So something got to change in Raiderland. I mean,
if Donte is going to be on the hot seat, Bill Belichick is going to be on the hot seat. Let it be on his own terms. Let him walk out on his own terms. Don't fire him, man. The man been down too long for him. If the only way that I can see that happening is what Bobby said, that they don't like each other. Him and Bill Belichick don't like each other. That's
Robert Kraft and Bill.
Yeah, Robert Kraft. Yeah, that's the only way I can really see Bill Belichick probably getting moved up out of there. But I think he should be allowed to go out on his own terms. He should be allowed to go out up on his own terms.
But you got a good running back in Josh Jacobs. You got one of the top wide receivers in Devontae Adams. Your defense is okay. You still got a stud in Max Crosby. I just don't know what's going on over there in Vegas. But of course we all know who runs that division over there in the AFC West.
Yep.
What else do we have on the dot? Okay, so we got David said 3 coaches need to be fired ASAP. Stanley, McDaniels, and the Bears coach. Yeah, I agree.
Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus. Yep, agreed. Let's see. We went over Dallas. What's missing? Okay, what's missing with Dallas in the red zone? Why is it so hard that Dallas cannot score in the red zone? They put 40 up on the Giants. They put 40 up on the Jets. When they get to the Cardinals, it seems like they cannot do it. What's missing for the Cowboys in the red zone?
Like I say, Dak throwing an interception. Dak throwing an interception. Not running the ball in the red zone. Not running the ball in the red zone. So other than that, hey, the Cardinals, like I say, man, no team is easy to beat in this league. No matter how you look at it, you got to go out there and play. You can say a team is easy. You got to go out there and play. You got to go out. That's why you go out there and play these games. But Dak is not good in the red zone. They're not running the football a lot. They're not running the football a lot in the red zone. When you get in the red zone, you got to be able to establish a run game when you get in the end zone. That's one thing they're doing. They're trusting Dak too much to make reads, and he's not very good reading the field. He's not very good at making decisions. He can read the field. He's not good at making the decisions with the football. So they're not running the football enough at the red zone. That's the problem. They're not running the football. They're trusting way too much on Dak Prescott to make a play instead of running the football. You got probably one of the most explosive running backs in the league in Tony Pollard, and you're not running the football with him in the red zone. And the man had over 100 yards rushing. He had over 100 yards rushing.
Do you say now this defense has been exposed now of how teams can beat them now? Because they couldn't stop the run to save their life.
I mean, every team has a weakness. Every team has a weakness on the defensive side of the ball. No matter how you take it and how you slice it. I think you can say they got exposed by the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, but it's some holes in Dallas defense. It's a lot of holes in Dallas defense. They still need to figure out. But, these games happen. James Conner's a good running back. He's a very solid running back. He's no slouch of a running back. He's very good. So, yes, they got exposed. They got exposed a lot. The secondary got a lot of exposed as well because Josh Dobbs was able to be effective throwing the football as well and running the football. So, yes, you can say that defense kind of got exposed. Got exposed a little bit.
I mean, they had some running issues last year too with stopping the run. But I can only imagine what's going to happen if the Eagles play Dallas like they did with Tampa Bay last night in the trenches, messing with that defensive line. It's going to be a bad day for Dallas when it comes with the run. That's just my opinion. But we're going to bring back Hold on. I was in Dallas altogether. David, I appreciate you being in here. Make sure, again, if y'all have not followed the Sports Wave Network, make sure y'all do so. And of course, we're live on YouTube on Sports Wave YouTube channel, my channel, Coach Donte's channel as well. Links are all in the description. Make sure y'all tune in. But we are going to play Who is this? Coach, let me see if I can stump you. But in the chat, see if y'all can figure out who this is. Let me bring this up. These are some people you might know. I mean, these people you know. But, we did the Hall of Fame edition last time. So let me see. Do y'all know who this is? So, they got drafted by Mississippi State. Went to Mississippi State. Got drafted by San Fran. Played for the Raiders, Denver, and Seattle. Who am I? Oh, hold on. Let me take this down.
Yeah. So, Mississippi State, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver. Who could this be? Jerry Rice?
Yes, sir. That is Mr. Jerry Rice himself. Yeah, there's Jerry Rice. Good job, y'all. Good job. In the chat, y'all can comment too. All right. So we got the next one. Let me get the next one up. All right. Only if E was here, because this is his college here. All right. So we got Florida State. Was drafted by the Cardinals. Played with San Fran, the Lions, and the Bills.
So you said Florida State, Cardinals, Lions, Bills. And then Florida State. Damn, Florida State. Let's see. Cardinals, San Francisco, Lions, Bills. No, it's a good one. You got everybody thinking. It's hard to find it out. So Florida State, Cardinals. You started with the Cardinals. San Francisco, Lions, Bills.
So this is the Super Bowl winners edition. So Jerry Rice. There we go, Vic.
There we go, Vic. I went on let Vic answer it because I didn't want to go down and go after him. So I didn't know it. I forgot Anquan Bolden started with the Cardinals. I forgot he did. And he played with the Ravens too, so he did play with the Ravens too.
Oh, I forgot to put them on there. Yeah. I knew I was missing one. All
right. If the Ravens, I missed that one though, so I missed that one.
All right, we got one more before we go into the picks of week 4. All right.
Nah, you good, man. You good. You good.
No, I want y'all to figure it out first.
Yeah, y'all can figure it out too, yeah, because like I said, I don't want to be the only one to figure it out.
Here we go.
Y'all good. You good.
When the Cow, drafted by the Bills, played for the Raiders and the Seahawks.
Marshawn Lynch.
Beast mode himself. Went to Cow, drafted by the Bills, Raiders, and the Seahawks. What's going on, Troy? There you go. That is Marshawn Lynch. All right, I'm going to be thinking of some more. We might go defense next time. But that was your Super Bowl winners. Unfortunately, Donte, we got to pick week 4, and I know some of these games. God help us all. Week 4 picks. So we're going to start off Thursday night. Thursday night might actually be a good game. In the NFC North Division, we got the Green Bay Packers going up against the Lions. Who you got winning this game?
I'm taking Detroit.
Taking Detroit? Okay. Last time I betted against Detroit, they lost. I lost. So I'm going to ride the train and go with Detroit here against Packers. Even though Jordan Love has been looking pretty good. They both 2-1. These could potentially be the North winners. I'm not banking on Minnesota nor the Bears. So we're going to go with the Lions here to beat Green Bay. Got an NFC East. Finally, Eagles gets the NFC East matchup. Short week for the Eagles. They go against the Commanders at home. Who you got?
Eagles.
And I'm taking the Eagles here as well. To go 4-0, we got the morning game. They are in London. The Jags always in London. They might as well stay in London. They go against Atlanta. 9:30 game. Who you got? Jags or the Falcons?
I'm going for the Jaguars. I think they bounce back against the Falcons. I'm going for the Jags.
I'm going to go for the Jags as well. This should be a game of the week. This should be good. Got the Dolphins going up against the Bills.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
Woo! Josh Allen. Last year they played the game and it went down to the wire. It was a really good game. I'm gonna go Bills. You going Dolphins? I'm gonna say Bills. Battle of the 0-3 teams. Got Denver versus Chicago.
Do I gotta pick this game? Do I really have to? Do I really have to pick the shit bowl? Come on, man. Oh my God. I'd rather lose the week than pick this game. But no, if I had to go with, oh my God, man. I'll take the Bears. I'll take the Bears at home.
I'll go Broncos here. We got the Ravens and the Browns.
I'm going with the Ravens. They got people hurt, right?
Huh?
They got some people out, right?
The Ravens, I think Mark Andrews comes back. They got people that's questionable.
All right,
Odell might be back. He
Okay,
went from questionable. I like Cleveland's defense. I'm gonna go Baltimore. Got the Steelers and the Texans.
Steelers.
Nah, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Even though I want to ride with Houston, that's an upset. Another 0-3 matchup. We got the Vikings and the Minnesota and the Panthers.
The only reason I'm taking the Vikings because Andy Dalton is the quarterback. That's the only reason I'm gonna take the Vikings. And if the Vikings don't win this game, I'm not picking them no more this year. I'm taking the Vikings to win this game.
But even though Andy Dalton didn't play bad, I'm not picking Minnesota. I'm gonna go with Cardinals. I'm gonna go with the Panthers here. I can't pick Minnesota.
I understand. That's understandable. And if they lose this game, I won't be picking them no more this year.
Got the Rams and the Colts.
I think AR-15 coming back. I'm going with the Colts at home.
I'm gonna go Rams. I think the Rams bounce back. Saints and the Bucks, and Derek Carr is day to day.
Derek Carr out. Who's the back? I think is it Taysom Hill the back up? Jameis Winston.
No, it's Jameis.
They should be good because I'm gonna bank on their defense. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm just gonna bank on their defense to be good to carry them in the game. I do not. I just don't trust Jameis Winston, but I don't know how good Tampa Bay is. I don't think Tampa Bay is all that good. I think they're okay, but I don't think they're all that good either.
If Jameis can limit turnovers and be smart, the Saints will win this game. So I'm gonna say the Saints. We got the Bengals in Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee at home.
I'm gonna go Cincinnati here. Raiders and the Chargers.
Chargers. I'm not picking the Raiders.
Yeah, no, I'm not picking the Raiders either. The Patriots and Dallas.
I'm gonna take Dallas to bounce back at home.
So I'm gonna take Dallas too. Cardinals and the 49ers.
Cardinals.
Upset?
No, I mean 49ers.
I was about to say, I'm taking the Niners.
My fault, 49ers. My bad.
I don't even want to. I feel bad. Are you even going to do this game Sunday night, the Chiefs and the Jets?
I may not be doing that. If I may be joining I may join someone else just to watch it with them. I may not be doing that. No.
It's going to be a mercy rule.
I don't want to watch Zach Wilson. I just don't want to watch Zach Wilson play football.
It's going to be a mercy rule by halftime. I'm going. It's agreeing. Kansas City's going to win that game, and then you got Monday night. You got the Seahawks and the Giants.
I'm going to Seahawks.
I am going with the Seahawks too. All right, we're going to switch over to the MLB side. Of course, we got some games going on here. The Phillies need one game to be in right now. They are playing the Cardinals. They're not playing the Cardinals. They're playing Pittsburgh, and they only got to win one right now at the bottom of the third, and they are nothing game. So the MLB playoff picture. So again, the most impactful games on a wild card. We got the wild card standings right now. Of course, the Phillies are top for the Nationals. Arizona, Chicago, Miami. So it's Phillies, Arizona, Chicago on the spot right now. But Miami is one game behind. Cincinnati is 2.5. They possibly could catch up. And in the AL, we got Tampa Bay. They already clinched. And we got Toronto and Houston. Houston is in that last spot, but it looks like Seattle possibly could make some noise. Your thoughts on this race right now? Who you think gets in?
I think it remains the same unless we beat Seattle tonight. Unless we beat Seattle again tonight, I think everything stays the same. If the Astros beat Seattle tonight, I think they're in good shape. It was a huge win coming off a sweep, coming off the loss against the Royals. We don't play well, and we haven't played well at home all year long. I don't understand that. But on the road, we unstoppable on the road. It's almost damn near like we unstoppable on the road. We can't be beat on the road. But at home, this year's been a different vibe. But other than that, it's gonna be tough down the stretch. Seattle still got to play Texas too. They still got to play Texas in a series, and they got that. I think they play them in a 4-game series. So if I'm not mistaken, the very next time in Seattle. So this is gonna be a huge. If we can get a win, it can be huge. We can solidify our playoff hopes. We be in good shape. Look like the Rangers are going to win the division because we've been struggling against teams that are not so good outside of Baltimore. But other than that, we can just get in. I think we'll be fine. We can just get in. We'll be fine. I'm not worried.
All right, so who's in right now? Again, it's the Braves, the Dodgers, the Orioles, Tampa Bay Rays, Milwaukee clinched the playoff spot with a blowout win over the Marlins. The Twins. So the Phillies are next. So how the matchups will go. So the wild card. So the 6th seed, which would be the Astros, will go up against the Twins, and then the Blue Jays will go up against the Rays. And then whoever wins between the Twins and the Astros will go up against the Rangers. The Rays and the Blue Jays. Whoever wins out of that will go up against the Orioles. And then in the NL, you got the Cubs at Milwaukee, and then you got the D-backs against Arizona, and then the Brewers and the Cubs. Whoever wins that goes against the Dodgers. Oh hell! And whoever wins out between Arizona and Philly gotta go to Atlanta. That's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the breakdown is of the MLB playoff race. And as of right now, the Guardians are beating the Cincinnati 6-5, and all the other games right now are just getting underway, and they are nothing right now. Moving on to WNBA, Breanna Stewart is named your 2023 MVP. She's the first person to do it twice with two different teams. Are you mad at Breanna Stewart getting MVP?
Hell no. Not mad. She deserves it. She rightfully deserves it. She's been the best player this year. Congratulations to her. She's been the catalyst of this team being as great as they are. Now they do need to get a bounce back win tonight. Versus Connecticut at home. They were dominated at home versus Connecticut, but rightfully so. She deserves that MVP.
Alyssa Thomas, 28-point double-double. She's a double-double machine throughout the season. And then you had Asia Wilson balling for the Aces. But Asia Wilson did get back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year. That was well-deserved. But I knew it was going to come down to Breanna Stewart, and I knew they were going to give it to her. But somebody gave Asia Wilson a fourth place vote. But Breanna Stewart got 20 first place votes. Melissa Thomas got 23. Asia Wilson 17. She had 446 votes, so it wasn't unanimous. It was really close. 446, 439, 433 between those three. So it was really close. Joy Lloyd actually got 23 votes, but we all know if she didn't play on the Poopa team, she could have won MVP. They didn't announce the Rookie of the Year, but we all know that's going to go to Leah Boston. We all know that.
Yep.
Playoff games tonight. Got two. Got the Liberty versus the Sun again. 5-game series for the WNBA semifinals. And Coach Donte will be doing that right after 7200, right after this. So make sure y'all go to his channel, show him some love on both games. He will be doing a doubleheader tonight. We got the Suns and Liberty, Aces and the Wings. Who you got in the series? Well, tonight, who you got?
I got the New York Liberty bouncing back, and I got the Aces winning tonight.
All right. I think the Sun and the Liberty can actually go down. To five games. I think it can go down to 5 games. But yeah, I think so, and I think the Aces could. I don't know if they'll sweep. Maybe the Wings will get them one. The Aces only got to do is win 3 games and be back in the finals. Can we do? Yep, we'll do more. We can do the top 100 players. I can think of some. Appreciate that, Word of King. But it's going to be in my opinion, it's going to be the New York and Aces. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's Connecticut and Aces. It's still going to be a good series regardless who's in it. Between the Sun and the Connecticut. Between the Sun and New York. Switching over to college football real quick before we get on out of here. We all know Deion Sanders and Colorado Buffs take that monstrous L over the Oregon Ducks this weekend. Put a 40 bomb on them. But we all knew this. We all knew Deion was going to lose. But it was humbling for some of Colorado, but this is what we expected. Deion's going to move on. He even said that we still are pieces away. The offensive line needs work because Shadora Sanders can't keep taking that hit. The defense needs work as well. They don't really have a good running game, but Dylan Edwards is okay. Of course, you missed Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter tried to get back in, and Deion said, no, you're not coming back yet. But the rankings is, of course, with that loss, Colorado is not in the top. Any changes happen? We do have 3 new teams on the list. Nothing changed in the top 3. Still Georgia, Michigan, Texas. Ohio State moves up to Florida State. moves down 1. Penn State moves up to 6. Washington moves up to 7. USC moves down 3 spots to 8. Oregon moves up 1. Utah moves up 1. Notre Dame, they move down to 11. Alabama moves up 1. They're 12. LSU, they move down. They're 13. Oklahoma 14. UNC is 15. We got Washington State 16. Duke 17. Miami 18. Oregon State 19. Ole Miss is 20. Tennessee is 21. Florida went up 3 spots. They're 22. And the first time on the list, we got Missouri at 23. Kansas State. No, I'm sorry, Kansas, the Jayhawks at 24. And Fresno State at 25. So they are your 3 new teams that's on the list. I love what Deion said. He said, catch us when we're down now because you're going to catch us again. That's facts. That's definitely facts. Other votes, Kansas State was on, Kansas State, Kentucky, Louisville, Colorado, UCLA, Maryland, TCU, Tulane, Syracuse, Air Force, Wisconsin, Texas A&M, and Clemson. So who dropped from the list was Colorado, USC, and Iowa. Anything wrong with the list?
Not really. I guess, the loss was really bad by Colorado, getting beat that really bad by a by far better team. Kicks them up out of the top 25, but no, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I do got an issue with them being out of the top 25. I still think they should be in the top 25 at least, probably at 24 or 25. But other than that, I have no problem with it. They just lost to a better football team than they did. We all know Oregon is better. It's better than Colorado, and they got punished for losing to a better team. I just guess it's the way they lost to them. That's why. But yeah, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be beat up all about it though.
All right. So the leaderboards right now, the offensive leaders, Michael Penix Jr. is still leading the nation. He got 1,636 yards. Doris Sanders is right under him, 1,410. Got Cam Ward out of Washington State, making some noise, 1,390 yards. Braden Skager from Michigan State, and then Jaden Daniels from LSU. That's their top when it comes to passing. You got any Heisman picks right now? Or is it still too early?
You said who?
You got any Heisman picks, or is it still too early?
Still too early for me. But Michael Penix is right there, and Keller Williams is right there. But I'm gonna pick one later on.
Are you going to talk about how Oregon had to recruit help in order to beat Colorado? Looks like they were asking many coaches for help to scheme against them. Interesting. All right. I'm sure you got some upsets. Let's go over these games. And see, we are week 5 already into college football. Dang, we were just talking about how we went in football, and now look where it's at. We already in week 5. Any teams right now after week 5 is still that's like you're like, oh my gosh, about.
Like, oh my god, what you mean?
Like, what teams are you like that's shocking you right now?
Oh, by the way they're winning or losing. The way no team. I'm pretty much expect everybody to win at the rate they're winning in. Like Georgia, they're winning, but they're shocking. They're shockingly. Every team is competitive with them. They're not really dominating anybody. Michigan's still the same team. Michigan's still the same football team. Not shocked about Notre Dame because I've been saying Notre Dame was fraudulent, and there still is. They continue to be fraudulent. Notre Dame continue to show people who they actually are. They're not. They're a 10-win football team that will probably make a New Year's Six bowl game, and nothing else. So they continue to not shock me for what they do, and yet, again. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. I don't think there's no team out there that's really shocking me that much. But Florida State getting away, just finding a way to win games. They're okay. I think they're gonna meet their matchup sooner or later, but they're finding a way to win games out there. So, but I just hope everybody not shot the way Notre Dame has lost, because they've been losing like that in heartbreakers the last couple of seasons and not getting the job done.
So Jeff said, "Are you sold on Texas?"
No.
All right, so we got Friday night game. We got Utah against Oregon State.
I'm going for Utah. I'm taking Utah.
Penn State against Northwestern, and Penn State's 4-0, by the way.
No ass whooping.
USC versus Colorado.
Ass whooping.
USC?
Yeah.
Florida versus Kentucky?
Florida versus Kentucky? Taking Florida.
Georgia versus Auburn?
Taking Georgia.
Michigan against Nebraska?
Ass whooping.
Your Longhorns against the Jayhawks? Kansas?
Texas win, close game.
Ooh, both 4-0. We got Missouri versus Vanderbilt.
Missouri.
LSU against Ole Miss.
LSU. Ole Miss is fraudulent.
Oregon versus Stanford.
Versus who?
Oregon versus Stanford.
Ass whooping.
Iowa State and Oklahoma.
Iowa State, where the game is played at?
It is in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Notre Dame versus Duke.
Taking the upset. I'm going Duke.
Ooh, South Carolina versus Tennessee. Spencer Rattler.
I'm going Tennessee to bounce back.
Alabama versus Mississippi State.
Taking Alabama.
Washington and Arizona.
Taking Washington.
And then you got the Fresno State versus Nevada.
I'm going Fresno State.
All right. And then you had your one upset, right? Was the you taking Duke, right?
Yeah, I'm going Duke. I'm going Duke over I'm definitely going Duke over Notre Dame.
Definitely is going to be some good, interesting games. I get this. Well, maybe I get to see USC.
Was it Michigan State and Nebraska going at it?
Michigan and Nebraska.
No, Michigan going. That's an ass whooping. Nebraska gonna get their ass whooped.
Oh, they got Jeff Sims. They got Jeff Sims back there. Turnover machine. Yeah, there you have it. I don't know if you're doing any games this week. Of course, you know. Hopefully when Jalen's done football, I'll be able to stream some.
I actually like South Carolina though. I actually wanted to kind of pick them though. I actually like South Carolina. I don't think that's a bad football team. I think that's a solid football team.
Vic said he likes your Duke pick.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. There we have it. Another 7,200 in the books. Next week we on episode 73. We're gonna be 30 episodes away from 100. Again, remember, 100th episode jersey giveaway. We'll bring people on. If y'all got any episodes that we went crazy on, and any memories you can think of, whether it's rants or anything, again, we'll have that on, because when we did the 50 episode, we worked people up. But 100, number 100, it is a jersey giveaway. So make sure y'all look out for that. Twitter posts, YouTube posts. Make sure y'all look out for that. But we're almost there at 70. We're almost at 70. Are you doing the fight this weekend?
Yeah, I'm order the fight this weekend. I am gonna do the fight later to Saturday night, y'all. I am gonna do the fight Saturday night. Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. Charlo is going for undisputed over there in Canelo Alvarez weight division. So I am gonna be calling the fight late tonight. So y'all want a good fight between Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. Y'all don't want to miss that one. Don't want to miss that fight at all.
All right, there you have it. Again, another episode in the books. Appreciate all of y'all who was in the chat. Even have some new faces. Hopefully they come back and visit us every Tuesday until my son's football schedule is over. We're going to do at 6 o'clock. When that's done, then we'll go back to the 5 o'clock sleep. But I know Coach got to get ready and set up for the WNBA. But again, Vic, Saijan, Word of King, appreciate you being in here. Jeff, appreciate y'all. Make sure to, if you want to hear the audio version while you're in the car or working out or just whenever, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Tell Alexa to listen to the 7200 Second podcast. She'll pop it on. Again, subscribe to the Sports Wave Network. Still great shows over there. And the Snake Sport Talk Show is on at 9:00 right here. So come on back, hang out with Jake and Taylor. But we're going to get on out of here, guys. Appreciate y'all. Next week, we'll have reactions to more NFL madness, craziness, and whatever pops up. NBA will be starting soon. Media Day is Monday. Possibly could Dame be on the move? We'll discuss that a little bit. But make sure after Jake tomorrow morning, come back for Con and Coach in the morning on the morning sports report. They'll break down a lot of things. But until then, we see y'all next week. Love, peace, and hair grease. And if you're going to do something stupid, just make sure you do it safely. All right. See you guys. Y'all enjoy the rest of the evening.
Peace.
I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see